All right, what's up, guys? Today we're here at Esk8Con with Mooney Esk8. We got a little story here. Mooney and I met last year at Esk8Con, but we've been chatting on the forum and stuff. He's a great DIY guy, and he's been working on quite a bit of stuff since then. And he didn't know that he was going to become a vendor eventually, but his stuff has some great potential. So I want to show you guys some of the unique features today. And why don't you just give us a lowdown on sort of your goals for this board and who you want to sell to.
So it's kind of going to be an SKP variant of like a mountain board. It'll probably come in around 4K is what I'm guessing. My goal is to have a quick swap battery that you can have in your backpack. I want it to be very solid before I sell it, obviously. But it's an 18S 4P rocking P42As. Fast charging, it's an 8 amp charger, so charges in less than a couple hours. We're rocking solos on it, so plenty of power. I've had people tell me with these small tires, it's even more power than they bargained for. We're rocking 138 kV motors, V6 reachers, and then a 5.0 Newbee drivetrain. And then my goal is to have quick swap wheels as well. So I'll have probably a 4-inch variant and 3.75. This is the go-kart tires I rocked last year at Esk8Con. They have plenty of grip. Yeah, I'm super excited. I think it'll be a super rad setup that has a lot of potential for sure if you have the right rider.
Sweet. So yeah, solos in the back is a great choice for sure. I'm running solos in my race board. People on the channel have seen me put those in and program them and stuff.
Yep.
Do you have any numbers on your VESC amps and stuff yet, or are you still dialing it in?
I'm still dialing it in. I think it might be a little bit more catered to the rider, to be honest. With the price point that it's at, I think that's going to definitely be the move. So a person like me that's, you know, racing and can handle a little bit more power, I was running like these things at max. I've had cutouts a little bit over 125, so I just keep it at 125. But with this ratio, this thing wants to wheelie like crazy at 125. So I think that'll be a really good balance though with the bigger tires and that ratio. You'll have plenty of torque on the low end and you'll still have plenty of top end for racing, everyday riding, and I haven't had any heat issues actually. So that's
great. Yeah, I've had some overheating issues on previous boards. It's always annoying because it's literally just a setup issue. So once you figure that out, it's kind of like set and done. So on this board, similar to the Lawrence board, they have pre-installed binding holes with inserts, and I'll get some B-roll of this later, but basically it makes it super quick to change the bindings from goofy to regular.
Yep.
And it also makes it so that you don't have to install insert holes or install the insert like metal bits yourself, which is always really annoying to get right. So when you buy a deck from him and in this board, we can know that these are not going to come out because they're properly installed.
Yep.
What is your deck construction right now?
I believe it's 7 layers of maple, and we are playing around with the carbon fiber base a little bit. We're doing a biaxial and triaxial layer on the bottom, which have different weights, so it gives you a little bit more pop. The goal with this deck, I partnered with Tommy Boy, similar to Artem, and this is the 4th deck that we've made. My goal is to have 2 different flex levels. I want it to be super energetic, kind of like a Haero or a snowboard. So
I love the Haero deck.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I rocked that board last year at the race, and it just, everyday riding it's just like a cushion, especially coupled with these tires, man. You can't get a better ride. So my goal is to have a little bit more pop than the Haero, but it'll be great. Talking a little bit more about the deck here, I got 35 on the front, 25 on the rear, which I found on my DIY to be the best as far as speed wobbles go, but you still have plenty of turn.
Yeah, so just real quick, the 35 and 25, what he's talking about is the actual angles of the deck. There's a lot of different angle decks out there. The Haero Bro, I believe, is a 30-degree deck.
Yep.
And then there's the Lacroix Nazaire deck and Lone Star deck. Those are a little bit lower at like 20, 25. So 35 in front is a pretty standard deck angle, and you said it was 25 in the rear. So yeah, that'll give you a little bit more rear stability and a little bit more front turn, which is something that makes it a lot more maneuverable.
Yeah,
and
I had risers in my DIY, which helped a lot with that.
Yeah. So you've got Newbee RTKP on here. Is this your final choice for now?
For now, yeah. I'm going to do a lot more testing. I actually just finished this prototype right before the Esk8Con, so I haven't put a ton of hours on it. I've rode it probably 50 to 100 miles total.
Okay.
And I've been having issues with a couple things, so I'm trying to, you know, get everything hashed out. But for a rough prototype, it's actually been doing pretty good. I haven't had any issues this weekend, actually. It's been running solid, and I'm pleasantly surprised. No issues whatsoever.
So this is a prototype. Do you have an idea when you want to release it, like by end of the year or something like that? Maybe early next year?
My goal, I'd say by Esk8Con next year is what I'm shooting for. There's just so many different things. This is a real rough prototype, and to finalize everything and get it polished to the point to where a $4,000 board should be, it just takes a lot of time. I've been prototyping with stuff ever since like midsummer last year. It just takes a bunch of time to get it printed. Sizing is a lot different from CAD, and you know how it goes.
I know. This enclosure on top right now is actually a 3D printed enclosure. I'm assuming you probably will change it for the final, but 3D printing is a really great way to prototype this stuff. I personally have 3D printed enclosures as well. I run them on boards all the time, and they work great. So if you come over to the booth and see this, don't have little faith because these are stronger than you think. But for a $4,000 board, upgrading the materials will be a nice touch for sure.
If we end up staying with this design, actually, I think it'll be a CNC carbon fiber panels.
Nice.
And then a nylon injection molded frame.
Okay.
So it'll be the same material is what we're thinking as the hubba hubs.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, those are super durable.
So it'll be pretty solid and lightweight. I'm super stoked on it.
All right, so a couple more things. We've got the VX4. This remote, for me, has been a pretty great remote. It does have issues with the potentiometer wearing over time. Do you have any plans for switching the remote, or is this kind of your final?
No, the remote isn't set in stone yet, but I know how to program the VX4s. They're pretty easy to play with. They kind of mess with your settings. They also give you, the newer ones give you all of your telemetry on there. So all of your temps and stuff are right in your handheld. So if I really want to monitor temps, I can connect to my meter, and I can also look at my remote and see how my temps are looking. So that's the main reason. Void pucks look like a very good option. It seems like that's what a lot of the boutique run boards are running.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it'll be a person to person. I mean, I think that's also one of the options that you got to have is what do you want?
Well, when you build off of a VESC platform, it's really easy for the customer to say change a remote, or maybe work with you to have their specific unit changed. Are you going to do sort of a more customizable approach like Artem, or are you trying to go for a full production, like this is a single model?
No, I think at the beginning especially, customers will receive as much customer support as possible, man, because the way I'm looking at it is you're paying me to essentially do all the testing and all of the hard work of programming a board and finding settings and I'm doing that for you. So you get a product that's pretty well tested, you shouldn't have a ton of issues with, and if you do, there's a good support for it. So that's what I'm trying to do. There hasn't been a lot of that in the US for mountain boards. All the mountain board brands are overseas, so.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you got Trampa, you've got Apex, they've got a really sweet mountain board on the Haero deck. In the US, you've kind of got a little bit of support from M boards. I believe MBS is in the US, but they don't make electric mountain board.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is definitely an interesting space to enter. And I love quick swap batteries. My own 3D printed enclosure design is also quick swap.
Yep.
And we talked about that a little bit in the past, but yeah, it's a super cool idea, and I think more people should take advantage of designing novel solutions like that.
Yeah, it's the main thing is just keeping that weight down, man. It's tough to keep the weight down, especially for some with bindings that you like to have in the air every once in a while. Launching off curbs, if you want to take it to a smaller, not crazy bike park, you probably can. I've ripped this thing at my nearest bike park before I moved, and it was a pretty good time, or I should say that one.
Yeah,
but
that's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a big boy, but you'll see my name pop up. I'm kind of known for my experimentation with just giant go-kart tires at this point.
Yeah.
So I've been experimenting with, those are actually turf tires over there, but I've been kind of playing around with these. These have super soft sidewalls, so they're just very comfortable.
Yeah, you seem pretty soft and grippy.
Yep, they're. I'd put it on the same level as even wind towers to a certain extent. I'd probably say 80% of the grip. So
yeah,
but they're way
more
seem
nice,
friendly to everyday riding.
Cool. Well, is there anything else you want to point out before we sign off?
I guess I'll point out the trucks a little bit more. So RTKPs, I went with those off the bat, along with PKPs are also in the running here. I just want something with tunability.
Yeah.
I've noticed that channel trucks are really a pain to just dial in, so instead of having a truck that does that and gets speed wobbles, I've had plenty of my fair share of speed wobbles with channels and all these other trucks, and I could confidently say that my favorites are TKPs and parallel kingpins. So that's where I'm at, and I might even have an option in the future. That's what I've been looking at too. So
sweet. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on PKP trucks. If you guys have seen my review on the Apex Airs, check that out. But I love them. They provide a lot of comfort off-road and a good amount of stability for me and my bushing setup. Up to about 35, they were great. I also have the RTKPs. I have a video coming soon on those. The V1 version,
yep, these right here,
has a straight hanger, and the V2 that he's got on this board right now, it has a hanger that adds some rake to it, which is supposed to help it be a little bit more stable. But yeah, we'll have to see. And I'm hoping to take this for a test ride later today.
Yep.
He's gonna switch the bushing or switch the
binding
out to goofy position, as that's how I ride. So. Yeah, thanks so much for the interview. It's great to see you again, and good luck racing.
Yeah.
He's a great racer. You guys keep your eyes on him.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.